Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Taff, this is Taff's Word. It is the 12th of April, and we are on a 5 game losing streak. Yeah, just let that one sink in a little bit, because when you say that to yourself a couple of times, it is a bit deflating to say the least, really, isn't it? Well, it's quite evident that within our group of players, there are players who know they're not going to be here next year, and that certainly does reflect in the performance. I think there are players who have coasted off of certain things. I mean, one Scott Bowden, for example, scores a few tap-ins, thinks he's, some sort of god, goal-scoring god, and all of a sudden he goes on a big cold streak. I mean, to be honest with you, the goals have been gifted to him. They've been tap-ins for the vast majority of them. I mean, when it comes to actually trying to strike the ball at goal, with a bit of striker's technique, he doesn't seem to be able to do it. When it comes to trying to turn an attacker, he doesn't seem to be able to do it. He's got some good footwork. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is good with the ball at his feet at times, but he just doesn't seem to be on the ball. I mean, up there, not just down there, but up there. He's not moving at the right positions. I mean, at the end of the day, right, why are you playing as a number 10 when you're a bloody goal poacher? And that's what he is. He's a poacher. He's your, poor man's Robbie Fowler, shall we say. Doesn't move around the pitch an awful lot. Doesn't do an awful lot, of build-up play. But scores you some goals. So get into the areas where the ball might fall instead of trying to do too much with it. I mean, Connor Wilkinson, that's what he became guilty of at the end of his loan spell, trying to do too much. I mean, the way we're playing, we're trying to walk the ball into the net all the time. It's too often we're guilty of, take a frigging shot for God's sake, hit the fucking thing. And it's a way we're trying to lay people off, we're trying to flick the ball on and all that. It's like, look, I know we're very, very unlikely to go down, but when you're in a relegation battle and you're fighting for your life and everything like that, you don't do flicks and trick passes and all that bullshit. We're in League Two, for fuck's sake. Well, this in the Champions League, this in the Premier League, this is League fucking Two. Stick to basics. Get the ball down on the deck, play it around. Strikers, make runs. Actually make runs. Attacking midfielders, look for these runs. Try running with the ball. Rodman, right? I tell you what, I like Rodman. He runs with the ball. He tries to make something happen. And when he's trying to put the ball into the box, there's no one in the right position. Everybody's trying to do things, as an individual rather than as a team. So it's just got me so peeved, I mean, it's got to the point where we're questioning the manager. For me, the manager has done well. But then when you got the players playing like that for him, I mean, if his tactics wrong, I'd say yes and no. I mean, we play attacking football. We do move the ball forward. It's just we got no cutting edge, no final ball, no shooting at goal. I mean, how many games this season have we not had a shot in the first half at goal, a proper shot at goal, or at least something on target? Too often. The times when we actually have a go, try and get into the right positions, try making runs, hit the fucking ball sometimes at goal. Are the times where we tend to win games or at least get a good draw against a good team. When we actually try something, rather than playing it around and acting like we're freaking Barcelona or something. We're Newport County, we've got a long way to go before we're talking, all this messing around and everything. Oh, I mean, Northampton, we played better football than them, but they beat us. Why? Because they stuck to their basics. When they had the chance, they just fucking took it. Sorry about the F word being used so many times. It's just frustrating. Um, I'm sorry to be picking on Scott Bowden. He is our top scorer. His goals have kept us up, really. So as much as I want to apologise, I won't apologise for pointing out when a player's playing poorly, because I've been very quick to praise Scott Bowden this season when he has been scoring goals. But I think now Feeney's got to look at this and realise that these players are not playing for him because half of them know they're leaving. So, who do we know is staying? I mean, we don't know who we know is staying, but there are a few, like Tom Owen Evans has got to be staying. Ayena's his signing. We know he's going to be staying. We may as well play Tommy O'Sullivan while he's on loan at us. And, players like Tom Meacham, we've got to be giving him more than 10 minutes at the end of a game, to try and prove himself. We've got to give him a 90 minutes. Let him play off with Lionel John Lewis. John Lewis is here next season. And you can see he tried against Cambridge. He really did try. So, there's that. We've got to be playing these players we know we're going to be here next season. We've got to start building for next season, Start getting these players ready. Because a few younger ones are going to need that bit of game time, for the experience, ready to go into next season. So I just hope now on Saturday he tries one or two of them at least, and leaves out the ones who he knows who's staying and who's going. You may as well just start, the whole slow sort of closure process. Like, look, you're going. Let's just start coming to terms with all this. No, I could go on about the team all friggin' day. We got to have a better structure in the final third. We've got our players actually trying to make runs. We've got our players actually trying to get in front of defenders when the ball's being crossed. We've got to be finding places to put the ball rather than just hitting and hoping. At some point I'm going to be talking about who I think should go and who should stay. I'm going to go through every single player and say go, stay, and then what kind of players I think we're going to need for next season. I mean, obviously the obvious central defensive midfielder. If you look at every team in this division who's doing well, they have a player plugging up the hole. There's always someone plugging up the hole to prevent, attacks being burst out onto you. We get caught on the break a lot. A lot of it is down to either fullbacks not getting back or being caught out of position, or through the centre where there's no one plugging up the frigging hole. Anyway, supporters partnership meeting on Thursday. I plan to be very vocal with quite a lot of things, especially for how we're going to project everything for next season to try and get more people through the gate, because our attendance this season has been embarrassing. Under Justin Edinburgh we were averaging 3,000 to 3,500 home fans. We've lost 1,000 fans since Justin's left. I mean, that's just facts for you there. We've lost 1,000 fans. We need to get that 1,000 and more some back. Whether it's going to be ticket pricing, whether it's going to be initiatives, like maybe if we won our own food contract, and actually did things ourselves, bring the prices of food down, throw in a burger voucher with a ticket or something, incentives, you can get a bit of grub if you buy a ticket, stuff like that. Even the subsidisation of bus travel, the bus companies, there has been talk of a deal with Stagecoach, making something like that happen. The people outside of Newport, if they know they can get their bus travel for free, what's the likelihood that they're going to come for a day out in Newport and watch a bit of professional football? Pretty good, I'd say. Nothing against people up in the valleys and nothing against their towns and villages, but there's not an awful lot to do there on their weekends except getting plastered. Really, I had to come. I had a few choice words I was going to say there, because people like to go out and have a good drink, but then if you can jump on a bus, come down, have a couple of drinks down in Newport, watch the football, have a couple more drinks, grab something to eat, jump back on a bus and go home. When your travel's paid for, that's your incentive to come down and watch Newport County. If you're not from within Newport itself, but you're on within the catchment area. Newport itself, we got to be thinking of things, to urge fans to come down. I'm not going to say we're going to get on these and beg these people to come and watch us, but bring the ticket prices down. Physically go out and tell people we're making it affordable for the people of Newport to come to watch Newport County. So, people of Newport, come and watch us and make us the new Swansea City. Urge people. Instead of just sitting there expecting them to just turn up, actually go out there. Even if you've got to speculate to accumulate and you go through the Royal Mail putting pamphlets through people's mailboxes, if it's good enough for Cardiff City to put their crap through our letterboxes, surely it's good enough for us to put it through our own. I don't know how much all this costs, but if it's not too much, then surely, you know, it might be worth investing in this, you know, actually showing people that we want them to come, you know. And the first thing we got to do as supporters is make sure that you don't get the dickheads who've been coming for a few years, fucking, you know, I'm sorry I'm getting quite passionate about all this now, so I'm swearing a lot, so I do apologise, but, you know, the people who are actually, you know, taking the piss out of these people. Oh, I've been coming here for years, who the fucking hell do you think you are? We've got to stop all that crap. You know, we've got to start making people feel welcome. I mean, you know, this is Newport County and they're from Newport. It's their club, and we've got to show them that it's their club. So, yeah, I could go on all night about it, right? People see me on Facebook and they think that I'm abusing the people in Newport because they don't come and watch the county, and it's not like that at all. You know, I'm urging these people to come and watch the county because there's more to it coming to watch the county than what there is supporting Liverpool, Man United, etc., etc., when you're hundreds of miles away from them. You know, I'm not telling them to just give up on them clubs altogether, but just show a little bit of love for their hometown. You know, and we got to urge these people and make them know that they're welcome to come down. And then at the same time, we're League Two. The football's not always going to be pleasing, so we have to be making sure there's other things that can make someone's day. You know, whatever that is, I'm sure there's plenty of ideas, but we have to come up with something that's going to make people come away feeling as though they've had a good day, regardless of whether the football's been good or not. Make an incentive for families, you know, a family ticket, for example, you know, 2 adults and 2 children for you know, a good price, you know, giving people the incentive. I know we got to make money. I know we got to be competitive, you know, and the income has got to be at the highest we can make it. But we're not going to get any income if we're getting hardly anybody turning up. We're not going to be competitive with 2,000 home fans every season. So, like I said, I'll go on all night about it. If yourselves, if you're watching this video, if before Thursday you can think of something that you'd like raised at the supporters partnership meeting, we're supporters own club, so the supporters should be having their say a little bit more often. I'm disappointed there's only been, this will be the second meeting this year, and that's bad. You know, hopefully this will mean that they're going to be back for good now, and they're going to be on a monthly basis like they used to be. And on that word there, I'm going to say to everybody, anybody, you all know who I am. You know, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter easily. You can find me in the stadium. There's so many ways you can get hold of me. If you've got a concern, I'm happy to bring it up. I'm more than happy to bring it up in a support partnership meeting. So come and see me. Anyway, like I say, I could be going on all night now. We need to start thinking next season now. Obviously, we're gonna stay up. We've lost 5 in a row, but the teams in the bottom 2 have actually only made 3 points on us. Are they going to make 12 points on us in the last 5? Absolutely not. We will not go down until it's mathematically. I know people don't want to, you know, but at the end of the day, we're not going down. We need to start thinking next season now, and we need to start thinking of ideas of engaging the communities in Newport to start getting people to come over, because you know, the more we just, you know, the more we sit with our thumbs up our asses, you know, the more people are going to start just walking away and thinking, oh, I've had enough of this, especially after the season we've had. So, yeah, 13 and a half minutes you're never going to get back. Thanks for watching. Up the county.